Oh yeah, now my people, it's your guy, the dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, tonight you got to understand. And tonight we're gonna get into it. Who had the better team? Arsenal's Invincibles or our current crop of talent? We're gonna chop it up today. Let's go. You're done now. What's going on, G Talks?
Brother, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling positive, man. I'm in good spirits. Obviously, we're still top of the league, still 8 points clear. And you know what? I'm in a bit of a middle space in terms of like excitement and nerves going into obviously the last 9 games. So yeah, all good, man. How about yourself?
Brother, I'm really good, man. I'm like, this is what I've been hearing. The consensus is Arsenal fans are getting too excited, That's the consensus. And I don't know, like, what else we're supposed to be at this point. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at. Like, what else is man supposed to be? Because if you look at it this way, if we're going from missing out on top 4 to now being in a title race, and I would say 10 games to go, I would confidently say we're going to achieve Champions League football. Yep. So the next is just enjoying the next 10 games because everything is a bonus from now. But before we go into it, man like Canners is in the building. Is it because I'm hosting you decided to come late? Is that what it is?
No. My laptop was playing silly buggers, man. So
the laptop one, man. That's what we're doing. Okay, the laptop thing. Okay.
Come on, man. You know me. I always try my best to be on time.
No, always a pleasure to have you on. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And it's the One Touch TV takeover today. How's everyone doing? We've got Silver Fox in the comments. Nothing to do with me. Big up BX Guna. Guys, you gotta help me with the comments today because I'm terrible with them. BX Guna says it's a tough one if we win. Look, do you know what? Yeah, and I think what was the stream that we all went on where I was like, if they win, I'm answering different questions. Do you remember that one? I can't remember what it was. I remember the statement.
I remember the stream where you actually went off early.
Yeah, we've got to the point now where you've said if we win at Anfield, you're gonna start answering questions with a different response. So
yeah.
Approaching, bro.
It's coming, bro. It's coming. Boy, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna let off a little secret. I've had my chest out a little bit since the weekend.
I've heard
just a little bit, little bit, bruv. You know, the little bit of the chest come out, not the whole thing. I'm not ready to rip off the shirt, but a little bit of the chest came out. I said, I'm like, do you know what? We can win this thing, you know. We actually can, and okay, we don't need to talk about whether we can win it just yet. Let's get into the nitty gritty of tonight's show. Okay, so we're talking about this current crop versus the Invincibles. So it's only right that the first thing we do is go through the squad of the Invincibles. Here we go. It's up on the screen now. So we got our keepers are. Remember Shaban? Oh my gosh, that Swedish spreader, right?
Yeah.
Flipping it, bro. Hey, we had Lehman and Taylor. Ashley Cole, for me, people say he wasn't, but for me, at this point, he was already the best left back in the world for me. I don't know if you guys agree or not, man. But for me, for me,
top three. Definitely.
That's not for the debate today, so we'll do that another time. So we've got Keown, Segan, Clichy, Campbell, Toure, Lauren. Boy, I'm thinking, obviously, our starting centre backs was Campbell and Toure. Then we had Keown as backup, and obviously Segan. Segan is an invincible, you know. Hey, talk about if you got the right system, you can carry along any brother. But yeah, then we got the midfielders.
Quiz question, brother.
Literally, bro. Literally. In the midfield, we had Vieira, Pires, Ljungberg, Parla, Edus, Gilberto Silva.
Class.
Then mate, that's a madness, you know. And look how small this. Why does the squad seem mad small as well? But anyway, when we go over this current squad, we'll get into that. Then Reyes, Bergkamp, Wiltord, Armoury, Cardew, and little old Ali Adier in that as well. First of all, what do you think about that squad? G Talks. How when you think of that squad, what are some words that come to your mind, G? Except Invincible,
Oh,
obviously.
man. Well, yeah, the clear one is Invincible. First of all, let me say that when I looked up the squad, because obviously when you think of the Invincibles, you think of certain players just come to mind, didn't it? Like automatically, Armoury, Bergkamp, for me, just phenomenal players. For me, probably the best strike force to ever play in the Premier League, history of the Premier League,
They'll tell us it's Kane and Son, bro. That's what they'll tell us.
As a double act. But it's not just, the beauty of that squad. It wasn't just Henry and Bergkamp, though. The amount of times we were able to rely on the likes of Wiltord and Kanu in particular. Kanu is probably, he's right up there in terms of one of my favorite players of all time. He really is. Like the things he could do, the goals he scored, some of the most memorable goals, I've witnessed as a fan, both in the stadium, watching at home, listening on the radio.
Chelsea hat trick.
Yeah, he's been a part of that. I was watching that game with my dad, and my dad, God bless his soul, was a massive Chelsea fan, and he was giving it large, man, when they were 2-0 up.
I can imagine.
And just to see Kanu come on as a sub, might I add, in that game and score, I think 3 goals within 15 minutes. Yeah. And I still remember the commentary of Jonathan Pearce it was, and he was saying, I don't care how you get to seeing this goal tonight, whether it's you walk, whether you run, whether you get a canoe, but you need to see this. You need to see this hat-trick because it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So I think for me, the strike force, the quartet of those 4 really stand out for me when I think about the Invincibles. The midfield was absolute class. From the first team starters to the likes of Vieira and Gilberto Silva to the wingers in Lundberg and Perez, but the impact players, the reliable players, the likes of Parler and Edu that would come
Raymond,
and just they were just there, man. They were just quality. It's like those unsung heroes, they might not be names that always come to mind when you think of the Invincibles, but they played their part, and we very much have players in this squad, which we'll get onto, that might not come to mind in 10, 15 years from now, but have also played their part. So the role some of those squad players played, the likes of Kanu, Wiltord, Parler, Edu, they were phenomenal throughout that season. What did surprise me was the defense, I've got to say. Not so much the back 4 that
the starting 11,
the game, but the
backup.
The backups. Brother, I'm gonna be real with you. Like Clichy, okay, cool. Clichy, all right. Clichy was a decent player, and Keown very much did a job for Arsenal. Very much did a job. Was never really a first team starter, but he did an amazing job in the colours of Arsenal. But I mean, Sigan, that was a name where I just thought, like, really, is this brother an Invincible?
Brother. And he got games. He played enough games to get a medal, so boy.
But yeah, collectively, I mean, the squad was just, there are very few like weak points or weak links in that squad. The first 11 generally played most games, and like I've said, I've already reeled off the names of the players that came on and saw out games or impacted games when we weren't in a winning position. So yeah, I mean, as a whole, there were a few surprises, notably, obviously, Shaban, Sigan, and Ali Dier. I didn't even remember they were Invincibles, but as a whole,
comment section needs to let me know if Ali Adi actually played games in that season, bro. Because I know he was in the squad, but what games did he play? Let us know, please.
I remember he was in. I think was that the year the Champions League when we beat Inter Milan 5-1.
Yeah, that was that season.
Yeah, he played in that game. I always remember.
Oh yeah, I remember he was on. He helped set up the final goal, innit? Yeah.
When Perez yeah.
I'm not gonna
always remember that.
Big up Canners for that, Big up. Now I always, because they show highlights of that game loads. So I always remember seeing him when the 5th goal goes in. He's involved in some capacity. Yeah,
he does a mad bit of skill. Yeah, always remember that, boy. So yeah. No, big up Aladir for that, boy, because that was one heck of a night, boy.
It was, boy.
They tore us a new one at Highbury, but we come back and we
came back strong. But Canners, I mean, Is your thoughts of the Invincible squad any different to G, or more or less the same, or you would like to sprinkle some other bits on there?
That. Oh man,
It's nostalgic thinking about them, isn't it?
That's what it is. It's beautiful.
You know what? The only weakness I can see in this squad is numbers. Do you know what I mean? It looks hella thin, but then again, these guys, all of them were all athletes, pure athletes. Do you know what I mean? They were strong.
The injury-prone thing hadn't hit us by this time.
Yeah, injury-prone. What? Listen, I remember they were talking about just a few years after the Invincibles, and they were talking. So I can't remember what it was, but certain players were talking about other players, and they mentioned Lauren. And they mentioned Lauren that they couldn't think of a better right back to go to war with, because that guy is absolute granite. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want to go to war with someone, you go with Lauren. And that guy could play. He could play, and I always remember there was one tackle he did on Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know why Ronaldo found himself playing left wing or whatever, but it was at Highbury. And he don't. Oh my god! I'll get the clip.
And you got Mandem saying this though, Canners. Mandem are saying this.
Ben White get ahead of Lauren. You're mad.
But to be fair, he followed up with this, and it kind of makes sense. My thoughts on the Invincible squad don't exist. I was preoccupied with Bob the Builder and Toy Story.
Sorry.
Fair enough, James. That's the only way we'll let that run. But yeah, sorry, as you were saying, Canners.
Listen, Lauren could play. He was a midfielder turned right back. So, you know what I mean? He could play. He's like the Invincibles Zinchenko in them days. Do you know what I mean? How he could play. He was comfortable on the ball. But even more so, this guy was rock solid. I didn't know him and Cole. I don't know who gave them a torrid. I don't know one player who gave him a torrid. Cole would always have a great game against Ronaldo. But listen, man, that squad, what's there? With Kanu, man, listen, I don't know if you, my cousin Lee, he gave me a story when he was training against Kanu, and Kanu just come back from injury. So you know how Kanu likes to do his chops.
Yeah. Chops all day.
Obviously, my cousin's a young'un. You know, really, he's a youth team player. He's told to go into help first team training, and he said that Kanu must have done about 6 chops on him. Every time, though, he thought he was going to shoot, he'd chop. And he would dive in. But listen, Kanu and his chops are legendary. And some of the stuff that he did, I don't think that forward line is ridiculous.
Bro.
I'm trying to think of...
Find a weakness, innit?
Yeah.
There's literally a bit of everything,
I'm looking at Bergkamp walk into this team now.
Yep.
Will Tord will get into this team.
Mm-hmm.
On the bench, he'd get on the bench though. Come on,
Will Tord to get on the bench.
He'd be a bench guy, bro. Who's he taking it? Will Tord ain't getting to the Invincible, so let's not big him up like he's some player that we was.
Listen,
bro, let me not lie to you. We're gonna Will Tord, yeah. Wait, hold on. Will Tord.
Wait. Hold on. Let me just land this piece.
Go on.
Let me just tell you, Will Tord was probably in the squad of the best national team at that time.
Brother, Canners, there's nothing you can do to convince me Will Tord was a baller. I hated that guy. If not for Will Tord, my whole perception of Will Tord will be completely different. If not for that one moment at Old Trafford, my guy, Will Tord used to frustrate the hell out of me. Don't get it twisted. Once I look back at, obviously now I'm older, look back at the Invincibles and see he was a big game player, to be fair. He was one of them, I don't score a lot, but the scores I score are going to be important because he came in as a prolific marksman. Wenger ended up playing him as a right midfielder just to fit him into the side and stuff.
Of course, I mean, he's not getting ahead of Armoury or Bergkamp. Come on.
Exactly.
You got to shoehorn him in.
Exactly. Somehow, some way.
On the bench.
But for me,
a French international on the bench.
Yeah, and for me, this squad, because you lot have said the bulk of the praise for this squad. For me, the thing that excited me most about this squad is I never found myself saying stuff like, "Oh, this guy's missing. It's going to be a problem. Oh, this guy." Do you know, I never said. That's like a new thing that we're going through now. I never used to say, "Oh, this guy's missing from the back. We're going to struggle." I was just like, oh, it's 11 men against Arsenal. Hey, they're in for trouble tonight. Do you get what I'm saying? That's all I used to think of, bro.
You know what really strikes me though about this side, and it's something that we will all go, yeah, but I kind of forgotten over time. And it wasn't until I was looking at the squad today, I thought to myself, wow, is the size of them. When you think about the names, when you think about, and even if not the side, but the strength, you know, we spoke about Lauren, but you think about Torre Campbell at the back. You talk about Vieira and Gilberto Silva in the middle. Even the likes of Armoury, who was a very gifted, phenomenally talented player, he was an absolute unit of a man. And when that's what really struck me. Yes, we had the finesse and stuff like that, you know, the trickery, the tenacity of Lundberg and Parla, but it was the athleticism of this.
Yeah, we had everything, bro. Everything.
Literally,
and we could beat you anyway, bro.
You want to fight?
When you look at the current squad, I think that's one thing that this team really, the Invincibles, will really trump most teams in the Premier League, is just how big and strong they were. Huge.
Okay. I think that's a perfect segue to talk about our current squad right now, because obviously we can stand in awe of this Invincible squad. We know what they've achieved. They're not trying to go and achieve something exceptional. They already had it. To be honest, that Invincible side had already had one Prem in the locker and a couple FA Cups as well. So they weren't going into the final few games with people thinking, can they do it? They're like, okay, they better get this done now. What they were challenging us on wasn't necessarily could we win the league. It was could we go all the way unbeaten. It got to that point. Do you know what I'm saying? And this current team aren't there yet because they've not won anything. Even though Arteta has an FA Cup with some of these players together, they've not really established themselves. But let's go through this squad. So we got Turner. We got man just put Rams, you know. Rams Aggie. Behind. We got KT, Zinni. Got Tommy, Ben White, Holden, Kiwior, Gabriel.
200 characters, bro.
Oh yeah, you did your thing, bro. You did your thing. Gabriel, Megales, let's be known. Saliba. Then we got the midfielder: Partey, Jorginho, Xhaka, Vieira, Odegaard, ESR, El Neni. I'm gonna say something at the end of reading this out. Let me hear what you lot think. Then attackers wise, we got Saka, Jesus, Gabriel. Which Gabby is that?
Gabby in it. Martinelli.
Oh, Martinelli, Nelson, Eddie, and Trossard. Guys, as I'm going through this squad, because I personally think it's the Invincibles, but as I'm reading out everyone, I'm like, does this squad have more variety in it than the Invincibles did?
You know what?
Not are they better? Do they have more variety to like in the types of players?
For me, I'm looking at there's about 3 or 4 players I would swap in terms of squad.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I had to think about that for a second when you said that, but yeah, I hear you.
No,
but that means you can't. Okay, that means you can't pick from the 11 if you're going to pick for the squad.
No. Obviously, from the 11, I mean, I think the only one who would probably stretch to get in there would be Saka, in my opinion. But in terms of squad, I'll swap Partey for Edu. I'll swap Saliba for Pascal Sigan.
Hey,
things like that.
And Ali needs to come out, fam, for Jesus.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. You can't put any of our first 11 on the Invincibles bench. You can only swap squad players for squad player. So if looking at the squad players in the Invincibles versus the squad players here, would you swap any of them?
Yeah.
What? Who's better, Segan or Rob Holden?
Holden for me.
That's actually a difficult one. The way you just rolled off your tongue. I don't know, you know, Tony. No offense, bro. No offense, Tony.
I didn't rate Sagan.
Neither did I. No, yeah, that means you rate. That means you rate Rob. That means you rate Rob.
You know what? I think
I can hear.
I think Rob Holden is a good player. He's not going to get anywhere near that Invincible starting 11, but then Sagan didn't. So I mean, for me, if I was going to swap anyone, it would be I would swap Holding for Sagan. The midfield, I agree with Canis. As much as I love Edu and as much as he's doing his thing as director, wherever his position is now, Partey for me would come in as a squad player in that midfield over Edu.
What heck of a squad player, innit? Flipping it.
Yeah. But oh yeah, we can't do. Oh, it's only squad for squad.
Yeah, squad for squad.
Actually, do you know what?
It's difficult, bro. It's difficult.
What about party for Gilberto Silva?
No.
I will stab you in the eye for that, Canners. No. I'll stab you in the eye.
What are we saying that? Are we saying
I would only say that's because of recency bias, you know.
Do you know what, Canners? I believe it'll be a good debate end of this season, but for me, Gilberto's my guy, bro. That's my guy. He's the guy that just you like the less you saw him in the game, the better he was doing, bro. He was just picking up the little pockets.
Who are we saying out of those 6 forwards? Who are we saying are squad forwards? Then are we saying Trossard is a squad forward?
Yeah, Trossard, Eddie, Nelson.
Trossard comes for Alid, one time. One time.
You were waiting for that one still. Yeah, that's a quick. That's a quick one. That's a quick one. No doubt.
The others are debatable, boy, because I mean, Jesus for Wiltord?
No,
squad player. Yeah, we'll put Wiltord as a squad player.
Then none of the other squads get in.
It's just Trossard, man. Trossard for Alidier and Holding for Sagan for me. That would be my switch or switches.
So this, do you know what this conversation is actually interesting because how are we gonna angle the answer? I think it's quite a loaded answer to the question because if you look at the Invincibles versus this squad, the Invincibles are clearly a better team.
100%.
But achieving what this squad are potentially about to achieve this season, that achievement is remarkable considering where we came from, how young our players are. So, mate, that's what it was. I said if we do win the league this season, I'll entertain what people are saying about this team. I'll entertain it. I know I would never pick them over.
This right here is a disrespect.
Thank you.
That is a disrespect.
Silver Fox. Is that what we're doing,
Tony? I love you.
Is that what we're doing, Tony?
Disrespect, bro.
Is that what we're doing, Tony?
That's a piss take. That's
a disrespect, man.
Nah, Tony, bro, you might be cancelled for more streams from there, bro.
Jeez,
Smash the like button for Tony. Hey, hashtag Tony out, bro. What's going on, bro? Hashtag Tony out, trending, bro. Smash the like button, my people. Share to your friends and to another friend and another friend. It's absolutely free, whether you're watching now or watching later. Smash up the like button, people.
I don't think that's a bad debate, you know. I don't think that's
What, this one?
Yeah, I can debate that, man.
I think there's an argument for it.
I could debate it, but for me, Gilberto ends up winning that though. We can catch joke and smile and all about it, but let's be honest, Canners. Gilberto's winning that. Yes, I know you wanted to trigger man, and you definitely succeeded. Guys are willing to do a madness.
Yeah, I think it was the season after we became Invincibles. I think he got injured early on in the next season. Gilberto did. And, I think
that's when Cesc got into the side.
Right. And I think we only realized how much then Gilberto meant to the team when he was out of the team.
But this is it though. Them unsung heroes, man. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I do wish, guys? I wish Wenger caught onto the 4-3-3 earlier than he did.
Yeah.
With them players.
Brother, because imagine if we had like a midfield of Gilberto, Vieira, and then Cesc in front of them. Imagine the protection. Imagine the protection Cesc has.
Who you bench? You're not benching Bergkamp then, are you?
But Bergkamp's 35 at that point, bro. Yeah. So he doesn't start every game, bro. He starts. He doesn't start every game at 35. You know, come on, don't be silly. We got to protect Dennis for the big games. You know them ones there. Come on. I see. Look, but this is the thing. We could have eased Cesc in.
Then I'm sure.
Nah, come on, bro. Maybe 32. But this is what we could have eased Cesc in to that Bergkamp role in that season, and then maybe the following season he'd take over. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
But what is mad though? What is clear is that it's crazy. Like when you look at the Invincibles, and then now we've looked at the current 2023 squad. What is clear is that player for player, there's no contest whatsoever.
Yeah.
It just is zero contest.
That's the facts. But when you're talking about what those players are able to achieve, like I look at the Invincibles and I'm looking, okay, let's go into like the games they play. That I'm looking at the Invincibles winning every one of those games, even though we didn't win all of them. I remember going into each of those games thinking, yeah, we're gonna win that. We should win that.
Yeah.
But
I ain't doing that with this team.
I'm not there yet. I'm not saying that they're far off me thinking that, but I'm not there yet.
No,
So the last 9 games of the Invincibles, we had Man U at home. Was any of you worried about that fixture at the time?
I wasn't worried about any of the fixtures, bro.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look at.
I remember that game. Going to that game, I thought we should slap them up, man. We should slap these guys up. They knocked us out of the FA Cup or something at that point.
Yard or something like that.
Yeah. I was fuming when they equalized like last 8 minutes or something. I think gigs or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
But I was comfortable. Liverpool game, I've never been more excited to watch someone score a hat-trick at Highbury. That was an incredible game. Armoury.
You know what, though? In my mind then, I can remember thinking, the league's done. We won the league. It's all about going unbeaten now.
Yes.
What? When? At Liverpool? No, you didn't.
Yes.
No, you did. Not at the start. Not at the kickoff.
I swear.
Full time. Nah, Canners. I'm not having it. Because remember, we lost to Man U in FA Cup. We got knocked out of Champions League the week before.
That week was horrible.
But, so that was after the game. I can give it to you. Yeah, you're talking about winning the league, but going into that game, I was nervous, and I'm sure.
No. Because if you check it right, the Arsenal Man United game, right? If you look at the team that started, he put out a kind of not his
weekends. Yeah. I remember that.
My mindset then was like, we don't even need to win this.
No, but surely after the week we had, Canners, you were worried about that game. Maybe you did. I'm not sure about the title, but that week was that Wayne Bridge goal. That Wayne Bridge goal that killed me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Listen, all I remember thinking, and I can remember it distinctly, right? When we beat Liverpool 4-2, I remember at that point in time, I'm thinking the league's done. We had about 8-point gap then, and no one was catching us. Come on, the mindset you had with this team. No one was catching.
Great. Okay, wait, hold on, Canners, hold that. So, I'm glad you said that. So, this team for the last 9 games, they've had a draw, win, draw, win, draw, win. First of all, that same running. Does that win us the title this time round?
No, not a chance. And that was, you know what? And when I was doing these banners, that's what really stuck with me was that I think if we have this many draws and drop this many points this year, we're not going to be league champions. Not even close.
That's 10 points drop. Those 5 draws there.
Yeah,
that's too much.
It's not going to happen. And it really did surprise me just how many. Obviously, you know, when it was years ago, innit? So all you remember is the Invincibles and all you remember are the great victories, but you do forget the fact that we drew 12 games. This current side have only drawn 3. So I mean, we seem to be a win or a lose kind of team, and at the moment we're winning far more than we're losing.
Facts.
But it really did surprise me how many draws we had in the final 9 games of the season with the Invincible side, because I genuinely believe if that's the form guide of this current side, we don't even get close to it.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Because this season was the kind of emergence of Chelsea. Chelsea finished second in that league, whereas before it was just us and Man U. So Chelsea were kind of like taking points off the teams like Man U and things like that. So yeah, I just remember just us. My mindset then was that we're always going to score. I know a couple of games you can see there's a couple of 0-0s, but
you're not going to drop that many points, bro.
Nah.
Not
okay. So this is the question now. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. So this is what our Invincibles. This is the form that our Invincibles put together in the last 9 games with 8 points clear. We're 8 points clear again, or we were 9 points clear. 8 points clear now.
Yeah.
8 points clear now, and you're telling me that you think this team can win the league, but the Invincibles couldn't even put together the run you're asking these boys to put together. Are we asking them for too much?
No. But you know what?
Are we asking them for too much?
You know the difference though with this set of 9 results, it was come that Liverpool game, they were thinking about going invincible because they were knocked out of everything. Come that Liverpool game, that was the last game in the sequence where they lost a whole load of games in a week. They got knocked out the FA Cup, got knocked out the Champions League, and then came Liverpool and we was 2-1 down at half time. Yeah. And I think obviously that was the point in time when it was like, oh my God, this season is just going to come crashing down. And that was the game. That was the game that kind of, put them in their mind that, okay, league is pretty much done. It's all about now going unbeaten. And then the results there, the amount of draws there, the Newcastle one, the Tottenham, the Birmingham, Portsmouth. Yeah, come on, man.
Okay, so G, I've got a question for you. Going on the back of what Cannon's just said, do you think the mindsets of the both teams come this point of the season were different in the sense of Invincibles are like, man, then we've done this already. Now can we just go without losing? Whereas this team are like, rah, we're on the verge of potentially doing something special. We need to be up for every single game. Do you think that's going to be the key to this run in here?
Yeah, I think in many ways the Invincibles, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think in many ways the Invincibles won this league with a little bit to spare in the locker.
With a bit of swagger about it, like, you know what, guys?
I genuinely feel like
go on.
I genuinely feel they weren't in like fifth gear winning this league in some of these games. I think they were just like kind of content to just, get the result or get the draw away from home or whatever it is. I don't feel like this team has the same amount of control in terms of in games at the present. I don't have the same confidence that they have this. They probably do have a very similar level of control in matches because I'm still going into games against Leeds, against Fulham, recently thinking, oh God, is this going to be the banana peel? Is this going to be the moment? But then they're just slapping up these teams. So it's a difficult one. I think the biggest issue between then and now is Manchester City. I think that's the biggest difference. Is if Man City was chasing the Invincibles, you probably would have either seen, don't shoot me, you probably would have either seen the Invincibles get caught or potentially you would have seen a lot more of these draws be wins.
You know what? Wins. I hear that.
Pushed.
I hear that second part
to another level.
Not listening to the first part, but the second part.
I know. I hear you. I do. I think City. I think the way City are the danger of City. I think in many ways is what's kind of propelling this current side, and it's them. They are the elephant in the room. Like we know going into every single game, and Mikel Arteta knows going into every single game that bigger leads have been chased down. This team's won 4 of the last 5 Prems. So we have to go into these games knowing we've got to win every single game. And I think the current group and also the Invincibles, I think you would have seen a different, not necessarily a different Invincible side, but I think you would have even seen a better side in the Invincibles. Had the competition chasing them would have been more elite. Because as far as I'm concerned, City are better than Chelsea. Back in 2004, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with that.
That's
and Man U at that time.
But
Canners, I want you to respond to that, but also answer this question from Guna Greg after your answer. Oof. So go from what G was saying, and then answer the Guna Greg's question.
The one thing I would say is that the set of results and talking about the mindset. If you remember, the league was won at the 2-2 against Tottenham.
Yeah.
So they literally had 4 games after that to just chill.
Make sure they don't lose.
Don't lose.
Yeah.
That was the mindset after that. Yeah. And then even before going up to Tottenham, that, do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, we can win if you don't really need to get out of 4th gear. You know what I mean? Or not even get into 5th or 6th. Whatever.
Even that Tottenham game, if we needed to win, I believe we would have won that game.
This is what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. I mean, look, smack Leeds 5-0 and then just had to draw against Tottenham. And then that was it. Then the set of results, you can see that they were just like, wow, we don't want to lose. Look at those results afterwards.
So do you agree the opponent determined how and the situation we're in determined how they wound down the season?
Exactly. Now, had they had a Man City chasing them, there's no way they would have been able to kind of rest, or or the league would not have been won against Tottenham
with X amount of games to spare. Yeah.
Do you know what the thing is? This question from Guna Greg, I mean, it's a great question, but we're talking about eras, aren't we? And they're different eras, different types of. The game has changed. We're talking nearly 20 years now. The game has changed so much. I know.
When did Canners become a politician? G?
No, but do you know what I mean? It's like the game has changed so much. The tactics now, no one plays a 4-4-2. How? I'm pretty sure our 4-4-2.
Pretty sure he just asked you a yes or no question, my guy. Canners, I'm not letting you dance today because you weren't going to give an answer at the end if I allowed you to continue. He's going to just talk me around, and then somehow I would have just forgot. He's good at that.
Come on, Canners, what are you saying?
What's the answer, Canners? Thanks for the build-up, though.
I'm gonna talk with my heart, man, and say yes. My head's saying no.
All right, this is me. Yeah, I'm not. I don't even know why it took you so long. Like the Invincibles eat this City team, bro. Eat them, because the difference is that. This is the thing about the Invincibles. Just like you said, the reason why we turned it off towards the end of the season because we weren't really getting hunted down as per se like City are doing right now. It's just like even the Man U game that we played, the 1-1. The feel of that game wasn't we got to beat Man U to win the league. It was like these lot, man, they're dead compared to us this season. It was like small boys, come on, step up to the big boys today, and that's how it looked. But in terms of this. I believe defensively we're better than this City team because this City team are leaking goals left, right, and centre. They can always get got at. And can you imagine these Rodri and Gundogan against Gilberto and Patrick? Come on, as good as they are, come on, bruv. De Bruyne will be taking notes from Bergkamp. Did he really just do that without looking? How did he do that?
The problem is that we'd be outnumbered in the centre midfield. I'm going tactics here, not man for man, but we're talking tactics there. In the middle, seriously, it's different. When you've got that extra man in midfield with the players that they're having, that extra man in making up the midfield, you can't to deal with them.
Listen,
shut him down. Thank you.
We would have beat them in the tunnel.
Thank you. They'll be looking at us like, yo, what on?
Vieira.
Do you know what? The thing is, ask me this question actually after the season's done. Because obviously, if we done this team and we win the league, then the Invincibles, in my opinion, are beating our team. So they would have to beat the Man City team.
Yeah, for me, it's, and I know obviously there's a certain level of bias because we're all gooners. But when I look at the City team, and I'm going to go as far as to say, not this current City team, but this whole era of Manchester City, whatever player you want to pick that's played for the City club, and since the oil money's come and all the leagues they've won, I don't think there's a player across all the squads that would get into my 11 of my Invincibles. I genuinely, and if there is, I don't need 5 fingers.
That's an interesting one, you know.
Yeah, because
there's to be honest, there's one position that's out for grabs in the 11, and that's Ljungberg's potentially. Don't get it. That's
what striker gets in over Bergkamp and Armoury?
Come on, bro. It's long.
What midfielder gets in over Vieira and Gilberto? What centre back gets in over Toure and Campbell? What right back?
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm the only.
I would say maybe
Ljungberg's the only one.
Maybe goalkeeper. Maybe Jens Lehmann.
And even then, still over Edison.
I think there's.
Hey, brother, don't do that. I
think there's an argument there.
If we're talking about having a midfielder in goal, then Edison wins. But actual goalkeeper, let's not do this, bro.
But for me, I'm with you, Kunle. The Invincible team absolutely. Listen, not only bites, chews up, and digests that Man City's team easily.
It could be a discussion, right? And listen, don't shoot.
Brother, no discussion here. We not hear it. I beg. But let's get
people who hate Arsenal would say, "Oh, you
Oh,
got to have
course
discussion
they
with
will.
them.
exactly. Look at the people you called. People who hate Arsenal. Of course, they're gonna say that
That's
to
what I'm
shit
saying.
on us.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
let's
Like,
get into some of the comments because I've been showing them some neglect of late. So Shane says, "Would he have more points this season if VAR didn't exist?" That's an interesting one. This season we can only afford to draw twice at the most. We must win at least 7 out of our remaining
that's
9
fact.
games, and we're gonna go into that after this. 3-1 Magpies.
Listen,
God,
the Toonami are marching, man.
I thought they were done after the Carabao Cup. They're proving me wrong. Big them up.
Yep.
Fabianski, Agard. I don't know what this is in the comment section for across the
Nightmare.
pond, but bigger. City stuff too tough to compare eras as Wenger's Invincibles way too amazing. I agree. Don't forget we won the league against Spurs. Most of our players were international players. The Euros were coming. Only European players had that in mind. That's interesting, that there was everyone knew after we won that league title, our football just completely changed. We weren't playing the same way we were.
Yeah.
It was literally, let's just try and avoid defeat and get to the end of this because we've already been on the piss up celebrating the title. Do you get me? Arsenal get the W's. Vieira would slap Rodri like I wish someone would nowadays. Facts, big facts. I'd love Vieira to be in that game at the Etihad this season, bruv. That would have been electric with the vapor rub on the chest. It was hey.
The way to put it into perspective, yeah. If we had the Invincibles right now, would you be fretting over the Etihad fixture? No.
So that says a lot. That says a lot, but also, that does say a lot. But look, look at this here, yeah. And this stat was what really shocked me. And we were talking about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We're 1 point ahead of the Invincibles at this stage this season.
Wait 1 second.
1 point behind.
1 point. So 1 point behind the Invincibles this time this season.
Yeah, after 29.
And nobody expected these boys to be in the situation they are with 9 games to go.
Mm-hmm.
And those very 9 games are, first of all, starting at Anfield on Sunday.
That's that one. If we win that, my chest is coming out. We're winning the league.
Brother, I've told everyone on stream, if we win at Anfield, I'm not sure if I do any more streams with shirts on this season, bro. I need you to see my full chest, my breast, my double D breast. You must see it. Chest all the way out, bro.
Yeah, we win that. It doesn't matter.
I've been hitting the 30 kg dumbbells, so I'm good with that.
So you can fully get it, stretch it out, yeah.
Yeah, it was my man's up.
So the Invincibles, 4 wins, 5 draws. That doesn't do it for us here. So what's the absolute minimum out of these games that you think will get us through it? Because obviously City they've got a number of more games than we do. But talk to me. How many? What can we afford to drop here?
I know this sounds
1 draw.
Yeah, I think it sounds a bit like politician, but
You're going to do a canners, yeah? All right.
But the issue is, it really depends on what Man City do, because if they go on, this season-ending win streak, which they can.
Okay, so this is the question then. Before you answer your question, do you see Man City dropping any points between now and the end of the season?
I do.
I don't.
I do.
I really don't.
Okay. Do you know the fixtures that you're putting your potential bets on?
Because they're all easy.
I got two.
Okay. Let me
see if they're the same.
Let me bring these up.
Should I drop one of mine?
Yeah, drop them.
Okay, what the first one is, I'm praying. It's more prayer than actual belief. Prayer.
Yeah.
It's Brentford away.
End of the season though.
Is that the last game?
That's the last game of the season.
Ah, you're kidding me. Is that the last game? What are the chances?
You know what? I was hoping Chelsea would get a result, but they're bringing Lampard back, so I've that ship sailed.
Are they actually?
Yeah. They're getting him back to the end of the season, bro. But I'm happy because they got to come to
love
our
to see.
It's all good.
James, shush, James. Seriously, don't say that.
James East, bruv, he was watching Bob the Builder. Don't.
You haven't seen Burkamp play. You haven't seen.
You know what
Armoury
though?
play.
The thing is, the only, let me tell you what, yeah. The only game I legitimately see City dropping points, yeah, is
Not losing, dropping points.
Dropping points. It's Brighton away. I think they could potentially lose, if not drop points. However, you've got to look at the teams they've dropped points against also this season. They lost to Brentford 3-2 at home, and they drew away from home to Forest. So when you look at their next fixture in the Premier League, you look at Southampton, you think, it's a dead cert. Southampton are going down. City are cruising at the top behind us. It's a dead cert for them to win. But this is the Premier League, bro. And this is the thing about Arsenal and our fan base is that we're looking at Anfield, we're looking at St. James's Park, we're looking at the Chelsea fixture, the Etihad. But bro, there's fixtures there where we're not looking at, and we can't really be disrespecting the Premier League like this because
we can't.
In all honesty, Arsenal and City could between now and the end of the season, we could drop loads of points between the two of us. But because of the form that we're both on, and
that's why the form is what
we're looking at the kind of bigger names in terms of the running. But you just have to look at the Invincible running to see where they drop points against Portsmouth and stuff like that. So, in all honesty, on paper, the only game I legit see them dropping points or losing is the Brighton one. I would expect them to win all the other games. However, Brentford is a tough place to go. Everton are probably going to still be scrapping for their lives. And this is the Premier League. There's no easy games. You can't write off the likes of Southampton. Also, yes, they have a very deep squad, but they are going to have some hell of a fixture pile up because they're still in the Champions League. They got back-to-back games with Bayern Munich. And if they beat Sheffield United, which we expect, they're going into the FA Cup final as well. So let's hope, if they just imagine they win that FA Cup, no doubt they're going to go on the piss up. Do you know what I mean?
And you lot, I don't know if you've heard some of these funny fan bases. Like, there's nothing that any rival fan can say to shit on this title for me. I don't know about you lot. They can say City weren't as good. They can say other teams weren't as good. They can say, City switched off and started to focus on the Champions League. They can say, you lot were lucky because Casemiro missed the game at the end. Bruv, they can say every fucking narrative they want, my guy. There's nothing that's going to hold back this guy. This guy that you see on your screen right now, there's nothing that can hold back the tears of joy. The bogies down the nostrils. Nothing can hold that back. There's nothing you can say.
You know what? I get that the emotion is gonna be real, but if we win this league, I'm on violence.
Brother, I'm with you, bro. Just pray, guys. Don't let me win this league, bro. Don't let me win this league. I'm telling you, bro. It's gonna be long.
Crazy.
It's gonna be long. Let's get into some of the comments, then and just wrap things up. Khalid's no longer wearing any clothes for every single stream. Luckily, we only see him from Hey, luckily you will. But if that's what needs to happen, then that's what needs to happen. We got the gist, James. We can draw City. That would be. I won't lie to you. I remember last season, everyone was going into that Tottenham game talking about avoiding defeat. And we get into the Champions League. For me, I don't know if you lot were the same. I wanted a win there because for me, I like taking it out of everyone else's control. Like if we go and win there, there's nothing. We've proven that we're ready for Champions League football. Blah blah blah. So I was kind of happy that we didn't go through to the Champions League after we lost to Spurs. To be honest, I would because if we'd trickled through and won at Newcastle and still trickled through, obviously I'd be all right with it. Don't get it twisted. But I'd be like,
I'm thinking, where are you going with this?
No, but I'm like, it proves that we're not ready. If we can't go to Spurs and get the win when it matters, we're just going to get embarrassed in the Champions League this year. And we might have done that, to be fair. But I'd love to go to City and say, do you know what? You battered us every single game and we just nick a little Overmars 1-0.
Yeah.
Brother.
I want to win this league with chess. It's like, don't get me wrong. However we win it.
I'll take it.
I'm not gonna be picky. But at the same time, if we win at Anfield, and we draw at City or win at City, and we go on to win the league, bro. For me, like that's winning it with chest. At the same time, brother, I would win this league with goal difference. I don't care,
brother.
No, it's just simplicity. Just simplistic fact is that we just got to match
literally
results,
bro. Have you heard the jokers that say things like, "Oh yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great for the title race if it goes to the final day." I say, for who? Great for who? Bro, I don't need no Aguero. I don't need none of those dramatics. A deflective goal off Ben, of fucking Rob Holding. I don't care who scores the winning goal in the last game, bro. Just get it done. I can't
do it, man. I can't do it.
Brother, final day shenanigans. Going into the final game. Nah, bro. I'm not. I don't need that, man.
You know the maddest thing, yeah. The maddest thing, if that happens, yeah. If it goes down to the final game of the season, I genuinely don't think I'm coming to London for that. Because if it doesn't go our way, yeah, I'll probably be in jail, man. Like,
brother, you're going to be in jail either way. If we win or lose, it's going to be a madness.
I still remember, yeah. Do you remember the FA Cup final when we played Liverpool and
bro, don't
the 2 goals at the end? You know, I was watching it in a pub, yeah, and obviously we lost the game, and Liverpool fans obviously started rubbing it in, brother. Yeah, it was peak, man.
all I'm gonna say is that the next morning I woke up in hospital. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. In it, we'll tell you that story off. We'll tell you that story off stream. Don't worry.
All right.
I didn't drink for 5 years after that. Let's just say
one of them in a room with one of them PG mattresses. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, one phone call and thing.
Mad thing, guys. So Frankie goes to Bollywood. This is my favorite freaking comment of the day. Frankie, do it. Do you know what? Do so well that they're considering keeping you on, Frank. That's what I want. Do so well considering keeping you on.
Except against us.
Newcastle, yeah, for sure. Newcastle away is going to be a tough game. I definitely agree with that. But from what I've seen from my boy Tets, yeah, that's what we call him out here, Tets or Teta. That's what we call him over here. I think he's on a revenge mission. Everyone that's done him wrong, he's come back for revenge each time. The one left is Pep and Eddie Howe. Those are the only 2 left to get the sword, bro.
Billy Blanco from the Bronx, boy.
Hey, he's got all of them, bro. James also says, now think it about, still on this thing. Think about it. Technically, none of the back 5 of the Invincibles come close on the you know, all these anyone else that watched the Invincibles, you attack James on that one because this guy just doesn't know yet. We need to send him some videos and maybe send him some links to what we were about.
You see when Toure and Campbell, are bearing down on you, bruv. All your technical ability goes out the window.
Gone. Gone. Done out here.
You want the pitch to swallow you up, bruv.
With Saliba, maybe James. Saliba, the one player Wenger needed to always get back then. I hear that because after Sol Campbell, he forgot how to sign centre-backs, to be fair. I don't think we signed a good one after that. And Toure doesn't count because he signed him as a winger. So don't do that, guys. Don't do that. I'll never forget.
He went to centre-back in training and thought, oh, he's not bad.
Yeah, throw him in there. Not just Saliba, Ramsdale, Zinchenko, Gabriel, and Ben White all better.
James.
Hey, James. We're gonna have a separate stream for you, my guy.
Hey, you're upsetting us, Arsenal granddads. Bro.
Literally, bro. But I understand it. He's not seen Arsenal win a league title yet, so all these comments, he's excited about this team because this could be his potential first.
What I say to James,
you always remember your first. You know what I mean?
The Invincible season. Watch the game at Anfield. Just watch that game, and you know about technical ability and Jesus Christ,
bro. Canners,
that game were ridiculous.
Was that your camera following you around there? But Canners, the fact that you even wasted the breath to answer him, but I'm not even doing it. I'm like, just watch the tapes, bro.
I'm just trying to give James some homework.
Yeah. I think in the group we should put some links together and just send them to James and just let him study that. And then he'll come on his own stream because we're not joining him for that stream.
No.
Come on his own stream and beg for forgiveness from the fan base, bro. Don't worry. We got you, bro.
Goal at Anfield.
Brother. Bruv, do you remember when Ljungberg's goal where what's it called? Perez made Gerrard do the stanky leg, bro, in the corner. And we were 10 men. We had 10 men in that game as well. I remember.
Yeah, bro. Mad.
Brother, it doesn't matter, bro. That team just could be anyone. And it just like G was saying earlier, the difference between that team and this team, which it looks like we're getting close to, is that I always thought if we need a goal, this team can go and get it for us.
Yes.
I'm starting to feel like that about this team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not,
but in terms of like, remember the City game? The City game, I was like, where's the goal gonna come from? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the Bournemouth game, before we started comeback, I was like, we might get a draw, maybe, but we can't win this. Aston Villa as well. Aston Villa, I didn't see us coming out of that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Jesus coming back from injury is a massive bonus because in that game at the weekend when we played Leeds, I mean, they started the game very well, and what Jesus does so well that the likes of Eddie or other players don't is that he just causes chaos. When he's in that area and the way he just drops a shoulder and changes his direction, you just don't know. He just causes absolute chaos. And literally that goal, when he got fouled, impeded in the penalty area, and we scored that penalty, that literally changed the whole match.
Yeah.
It's
that one bit of boom
all in our way. And then we went on to win the game like 4-1. But up until that point, it was a very close contested match. And that's what Jesus offers us. And that's why him coming back from injury is a huge bonus for us.
I think that's one thing that separates this squad to the Invincibles is that the amount of players that could do something out of the ordinary in Invincible squad. Do you know what I mean? You had so many players
just hit one from 30 yards.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, listen, at the moment we've got one player, two players that attract 3 players to them: Jesus and Saka.
You know
what I mean? Whereas in the Invincibles team, you had Perez, 3 players. You had Armoury, 3 players. You had Bergkamp, 3 players. You know what I mean?
And then man like Ray Parler could come and have all the space in the world because them not occupied.
And who wants to be facing Kanu on the 75th minute with his
brother comes to just slow down the whole game to his pace.
Boom. Yeah, nuts, man, nuts.
Bro, that he'll slow down the whole game by just putting his foot on the ball. Everyone's running around and go.
Yeah.
Like, hey, calm down. You get me? I'm here.
It's like he does in the Matrix, but the bullet.
Yeah, he was
down like that. He's playing the game with his speed, boy.
Literally, bro. I've clocked it. I've clocked the game football. That's literally how our Invincibles were moving, bro. And guys, I've got before we wrap up, guys, I've got a question about 2 particular situations. January 2004. We needed a little bit extra. Obviously, we were doing really well, top of the league already. We needed a little bit of sprinkling onto this formula we have already. We bring in, may his soul rest in peace, Jose Antonio Reyes. I remember that game that I don't know if you remember, he came in for his debut. I think it was City at home. And was it not City at home?
Middlesbrough away, League Cup.
Okay, but he wasn't. I remember. He wasn't a first team starter at this point. I remember he comes on the pitch. We were 1-0 up against City, and he was doing a lot of little tricks and getting the crowd going. Omri was like, okay, this is still my club. He grabs the ball 30 yards out, top bins, mate, and he goes, yeah, that's me in it. Big up the new boy, but that's me. This is my house. But
was that the
Jose Antonio Reyes?
Into the top corner, when it was great, when
Shoo!
it was wet and rain.
Yeah. What a goal, man. But even in terms of Reyes,
is when we're gonna score. It was just too easy.
No, literally. I remember Anelka got sent off in that game for some headbutt of Ashley Cole or something. I can't. Bro, it's all flashing back now. As you bring up the nostalgia of Invincibles, I start reliving it all again, bro. Because I remember it all, man. But we had a January signing that helped get us over the line. Trossard, 7 assists, 1 goal since he's come to Arsenal.
Big.
If we win this league, Is he a better January signing than Jose Antonio Reyes?
Oh, you can't do that, man.
Ooh, boy.
You can't do that.
That's what I'm doing, bro.
You can't. That's blasphemous, man.
I would have to look. I would have to look at the stats, man. I'd have to look at the stats, and I'd have to probably go back and look at his performances, because it's sometimes it's difficult because, like, I think when I think of the Invincibles, I don't massively think of, God bless his soul, Antonio Reyes. I don't he doesn't really shout out at me as an integral part. So I would have to go back and look at the performances he had coming in. Obviously, with Trossard, it's here and now. You know, it's not 20 years ago.
We're feeling it. We're living it right now.
Reyes is coming back to me. I'm smelling Reyes now. I don't want
to do the whole recency bias and just say, yeah, Trossard, boom, yeah, he's better.
Just do what I do, bro. Just do what I do. Once we win it, ask me that question again. Yes. Okay.
You got to remember Reyes.
Win it first, isn't it?
Yeah, Reyes against Portsmouth.
Exactly.
Them kind of 1-0. Reyes against Middlesbrough, we was 3-1 down.
That one, listen, brother, I broke my bedroom door.
Brother.
I kicked it off the hinges.
Hey.
I kicked off the hinges,
bro.
And listen, my missus...
I think I might have to watch that season again after this, guys. I'm not going to lie.
Babes. She was like, babes, they scored. I came downstairs, I watched the game 1-5-3. Then she went, yeah, go fix the fucking door now.
Brother,
so embarrassed, bro.
Oh, mate, I legit thought we were gonna do it again after we beat Middlesbrough 5-3. I thought we got to be a back-to-back thing, but Abramovich had other plans. But don't forget to smash the like button, my people. Let me just finalize some of these comments here. KM Box says 26-12-0 remains the pinnacle, fam. I am with you, and I don't think anyone is gonna achieve that. So every year we will be twiddling our thumbs, waiting for that first team to lose a game, as we do every year, same time next year, guys. And this is us, by the way. Also, Niger, back then, you remember we used to end matches within facts. 35 minutes done. Remember them goals remember the 7-second goals? Cole, Perez, Armoury, go. Cole, Perez, Armoury. Literally, it was 7 seconds of madness. Deji stuck in the mud until 2025.
I used to watch Match of the Day. Sometimes I knew we were playing, and sometimes I'd be like, just surprise me, man.
Bruv, did you used to do that, bruv?
Yeah? I didn't even know
I used to do that too. Like, yes. Those are the sweetest match of the day nights. It was so hard to do, though. Don't get me wrong, it's so hard to do, but this is, I don't know if you're like me, this is how it is. You'll do something during the you'll do something during the day, and you'll get to like 6. You're like, oh, I don't know the scores, you know. Let me just hold out till 10. Let me just hold out still. And then you just get
the woman on the news would go, if you don't want to know the results.
Yeah, look away now. Man, then we're old. Now we're definitely old. Big up the 80s babies out here. Doing it big each and every time. I thought his debut was in the FA Cup at home to Chelsea. No, it wasn't his debut, but I remember he scored a screamer in that game as well. Yeah, similar, but a bit with important signings. The depth we had in midfield was crazy. Inter away, no Vieira, no Gilberto in that game. Parlo and Edu in the middle, wasn't even worried. And to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about the players we were missing because we were just such a unit and everyone knew their job in our system as well, man. Incredible. Trust the process. For me, I'm afraid, RIP Reyes, though. I will bring back that comment at the end of the season, don't you worry. 100% Brenny, whereas today we are all heart attack. We all have a heart attack. Yeah. This is fact. Sorry, my dyslexic nature sometimes gets in the middle of this, guy. So excuse me with some of these comments. But yeah, we all panic. No Saliba, no Partey. The whole fan base have a meltdown. It's crazy. So I do believe, though, if we win this title, some of those fears start to change come next season. Do you get what I'm saying? Because we've proven that we can cope in certain situations. James says, if we're talking about depth this summer, I think we will get invincible level depth. Amen. I hope that doesn't include Dominic Calvert-Lewin, James, but we'll get into that another time. I think so too, James.
That's how
look,
much we were scraping the barrel last season. Like,
bro,
yeah,
it was we talking about Ollie Watkins or Calvin
I
Lewin.
remember
Like,
what we wanted.
imagine that, bro.
The ball. Look at his camera. Look at his camera.
I know, my camera's
This
gone.
camera ain't feeling it,
There
bro.
we go. There we go.
But Ollie Watkins. I remember when Arsenal fans were twerking for Frazier, bro. That Bournemouth winger, blood. It's mad.
Oh, brother, we've had some times in this fan base, bro. We deserve this league title, guys. And Arsenal, I know you watch the Armoury, our tets. I know you watch this show on a regular basis. You don't catch all our streams, but you catch at least one a week. I know. In Ketia, I know you do. Hopefully, you get back to recovery soon as well. Jesus, you saw us hollering at you. That's why you got the brace this week. If you're watching Arsenal, you've given us some of the most incredible moments this season. Mm-hmm. Let it please be for something, because the compilations, the videos that will be created from this season could be absolutely epic. Please, 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 let us come to this time next season and we're doing a proper debate. Which team did it better, the Invincibles or 2022-2023 Arsenal team? Who did it better? We're not talking about the if, buts, or maybes. We've already done it. That's where I want to be this time next season, bro.
You know what?
I hear you, man.
You can always do things better. You know what I'm saying?
That is very true, bro.
Yes, they're Invincibles, but it can be done better.
I said that to you, didn't I, Kunle? I said the only time the Invincibles for me can be touched is if somebody goes invincible with a better record, fewer draws. That's the only way that invincibility of that Arsenal side
draws,
will ever
goals
be
conceded, more goals
only
scored,
way.
whatever.
Only way. Yeah. Other than that, they're untouchable.
Guys, it's been an emotional day today, nostalgic, going back in the time, and we still didn't really answer the question, which is how I like it, to be fair. Still up in the air. Yeah. Comment section, we gave you arguments for both sides. Comment section, let us know what you think of the result is. Do you think we should just save it till the end of the season, or you're comfortable to judge this team right here, right now, because you believe they can get the job done? I don't know.
A harder last 9 matches than the Invincibles.
Facts. Yeah. And we got a harder opposition breathing down our necks, because Chelsea weren't really breathing down our necks. No one thought Chelsea could go on a 9-game winning streak and catch us, whereas City, everyone thinks that they can. They've not done it at all this season. Let's hope it stays that way. All right, guys. So that's been another episode of Loose Cannons. I got my guy GTalks in the building. Canners, thank you very much for joining me today, guys. I hope you lot enjoyed the show.
Loved it.
It was wicked, man. Always, man. Wednesdays 8:30, man. Every time, man. Jeez.
Each and every, and the funny thing, every time I leave these shows, I'm like, I could do it easily an hour.
Yeah,
because there's so much more we could talk about, but we got to cut it down to bite size, guys. There's going to be some more shows before the end of the week. Check us out on our socials, either Instagram or Twitter, for the information on those. Also, you're going to catch me on Tunnel TV as well, end of the week, and a couple shows on One Touch TV. Do you guys want to promote anything else before we end the show, guys?
Just one thing. We've definitely got a stream on Friday. Just remembering what day it is. So we've got obviously a huge game on Sunday, Easter Sunday, against Liverpool. At the moment, Bobby will be hosting, and he'll be joined by myself and Brenny so far. So make sure you tune in for that Friday night at 7 p.m.
Big up. So on that note, Isak's made it 4-1, and this stream will be available on Spotify later tonight. So check that out, guys.
We've got a good face for Spotify, all of us. So
yeah. So some of our best work.
If you don't want to watch us,
you can listen. You can hear us. Smash the like button, my people. I'm not sure how to do the outro, so I'm just gonna end this. Okay, big up GTalks. Big up everyone in the comment section. Have a great evening.
Laters.
Bless up.